Hey there, this is Mr. Icarus, and welcome to yet another edition of Doom Mod Madness. This time round, we are checking out a little something by the name of Diabolus Ex, a level that I've been really excited to play for quite a while. I've been salivating over the teaser screenshots for what feels like a small eternity now, but here it is, fully playable, and just damn gorgeous in motion, I must say. But yes, if you haven't figured it out by now, this is indeed a level taking its visual cues from the likes of Deus Ex, more specifically Deus Ex Human Revolution. And that visual style isn't just for the wallpaper, it also extends into the design and structure of the level itself. Case in point, vents. They are essentially an invitation to exploration, the kind of thing that will lead you quite often to useful supplies, early drops of powerful weapons, and in some cases allowing you to circumvent some potentially tricky enemy encounters. If there's one thing that did quite make me chuckle early on in this level, it's the idea that even the demons can't escape the drudgery of working in a cubicle farm. We may have a gleaming cyberpunk future where everything is shiny and neat looking, but for some, it's dystopia, even for the demons. But this area right here is actually a great example of a situation you can play completely differently. You can enter this area and not startle a single one of these enemies. Instead, sneaking your way around to this vent, you might accidentally startle a pinky, but it's not enough to trigger everyone, and then avoid having to go through this laser fence, which, as you can see, triggers a monster closet with a mancubus in it. And another thing I quite like is the monster closets are actually very clearly labeled. They literally have the word demon written on them in 3 languages. It's a neat touch. But just because I've chosen to go this particular way, which is the loud and violent path, doesn't mean you can't go back later and crawl through that vent and see what goodies there are to find. This really is a map that rewards a thorough and proper playthrough, something that I didn't quite get at first. I'm the type that tends to barrel through a level to get the Cliff Notes version of what a map or a mod is all about, but I couldn't help but notice out the corner of my eye all those little extra routes, those possibilities, and naturally that led to me coming back for playthrough number 2, number 3, number 4, and I'm so very glad I did. Why exactly? Well, because during my first playthrough I managed to miss out on an entire section of this level just for the fact that I chose to go one particular path and didn't double back to check the possibilities, because rather than going through the blue keycard door in this section, you can go through a vent and still progress with the level, but not getting the blue keycard means you don't get to see this really nicely designed room, which just looks absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of an Akira reference there, if I'm not mistaken. And you also miss the fact that the blue keycard unlocks the elevator access to another section, which in turn grants you access to somewhere else further on down the line, while also simultaneously looping back through the areas should you choose to go back and explore what you missed. It's just mind-bogglingly good level design. Another aspect of Diabolus Ex that I really enjoyed is the fact that you can also pay a visit to Cyberspace. This is, yet again, a optional section of map. It's something that chances are you'll run into during your standard primary playthrough, but I discovered that by going through the blue keycard route, you can just say, nah, I'm good. I don't want to go and explore the cyberspaces today, but chances are you will want to explore the cyberspace because this is where the BFG lives. And let's face it, who doesn't want a BFG 9000 in their arsenal? And really, this is the linchpin of how exploration is truly incentivized here. In fact, it plants the seed of that quite early on with the super shotgun, which can be found by exploring slightly off the beaten path in the opening lobby, going through a vent, and picking it up in an alley, because that's of course where all super shotguns are stashed. But let's face it though, this is not a groundbreaking concept. It's a super simple thing. If you want the good stuff, you're gonna have to go searching for it. The difference here is that Diabolus Ex does it in such a solid and satisfying way. It's rarely a situation that you'll find yourself scratching your head for. You'll always have at least a bit of a clue. So how do other elements of Deus Ex translate into Diabolus Ex? Well, if you're thinking of hacking, if you're thinking of stealthing your way through a level, then unfortunately you're gonna be a little disappointed. Those elements don't really make it this far, though there are little nods and winks to it here and there. You'll have noticed at certain points I'll try and use terminals and it will say I've got the incorrect login credentials with some amusing username and password combos. With regards to stealth, as I said earlier, it is possible to circumvent and avoid certain confrontations entirely, but one way or another you will be shooting at least something in the face during your playthrough. It's a shame, I know, but look at what we have here. This is a gorgeous map that plays like a dream. And to inject something that is unproven, that has a high chance of just being a colossal pain in the ass, yeah, I'm thinking not having stealth mechanics in here is a fine compromise to make. As for the absence of hacking, yeah, I don't really miss it too much. All it really does is put a roadblock between you and flipping a switch, and if I'm really desperate to play that hacking minigame, I know where to find it. I can always just load up a copy of Human Revolution. If there's one serious criticism I could levy against Diabolus Ex, it would be the fact that it ends. I was not prepared for this level to end. I just wanted to keep going. I wanted it to stretch on into infinity as long as it continued being as well realized as it had been up until this point, but all good things must ultimately come to an end. It's just that the rooftop of Diabolus Ex is reached a whole lot quicker than you may realize. In any case, this is a level that is just dripping with quality, and if you're a fan of Deus Ex, or Doom for that matter, you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you pass this one up. It won't take much of your time, but I can guarantee you'll experience a lot of moments during the course of this that'll make you go, neat. Speaking of which, there's a little thing you can do to defeat the Spider Mastermind here, which is the kill switch at the back of the server racks. You flick it, it dies. Neat. If, like me, you're struggling to find peace with the idea of Diabolus Ex only featuring one map, then I'm sure you'll find solace in the fact that the texture pack for this has also been released into the wild by its benevolent creator. What this means is if there's any enterprising mappers out there, then they too can set to work creating their very own Diabolus Ex themed maps or map sets, and this fills me with a lot of hope and a lot of excitement because there are some extremely talented mappers out there, and I can't wait to see what they do with this particular texture set. It could be potentially glorious, but yes, much more of this please, much more of this. Hell, I might even dabble myself. But anyway, I bet most of you are chomping at the bit to try this out for yourself right now, and if not, then I don't know what to tell you. You probably have some kind of condition. In either case, the link, as usual, is in the description below. While I'm at it, I'd like to give a great big thank you to my wonderful patrons over on Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and for helping to make content like this possible. If you're interested in lending a hand yourself, maybe you'd like to see your name in the credits, or maybe you'd like to grab an early look at new editions of Doom Mod Madness, well, in either case, you can find the link to my Patreon page also in the description below. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Feel free to let me know what you thought in the comments below, and feel free to suggest any mods you'd like to see me cover in future episodes of Doom Mod Madness. This has been Mr. Icarus. Thank you very much for watching. Icarus out.